I want everybody to understand something about third-party situations. If you find yourself in a third-party situation specifically, but it doesn't even matter if it's a third-party situation. It could be just you wanting to manifest a specific person back. You guys have to understand, it's not gonna happen overnight. I know a lot of you guys are doing these techniques, etc., because you think you're gonna help the third party in your person, whoever it is, break up and get back together. But listen, you can understand, I said this in one of my other videos earlier this year, you have to give the universe time to move the chess pieces. If you are waiting for the demise of a relationship to happen, understand that you gotta wait for the chess pieces to move for the demise of that relationship to happen. So just from doing an affirmation or a visualization for one day, for 48 hours, or an entire week, or entire 30 days, that doesn't mean you're gonna get any movement. There's always movement, but it might not be the kind of movement you want. You gotta give a situation time to unharvest because it's already harvested, but now you gotta give that relationship time to go through the seasons and to allow the winter season to come, which we all know when winter comes, the trees die, which means the relationship dies. You got to allow that thing to happen. So if you know and believe that you're in a situation with a third party and you know that that relationship is not going to last, you very well might be right. You got to let that relationship end at the way that it's supposed to end at that time. And what do I mean by that? I mean, you gotta give people the time to, for instance, let's look at it this way. Your person just got into a relationship with somebody brand new, or say your person that got married. Do you really think they're gonna get unmarried within the next 24 hours? Most of you guys with brains know that no, that's not gonna happen. So what do I mean? You have to give time to let the arguments accrue. You have to give time to let the petty stuff, to let the truth come out. A lot of that stuff isn't gonna come out in the first week, first 2 weeks, first 3-4 weeks, first 2 months of somebody being together. That doesn't mean it won't come out. Now, have people gotten married and gotten divorced fairly quickly? Yes, 100%, that can happen. But is it most likely going to happen? No. But that doesn't mean that just because it happens 6 months from now, it's a failure, or a year from now, it's a failure. You gotta ask yourself, how long are you willing to wait if this is something that you seriously are pursuing and you know deep down with all your heart that this situation is going to happen, that the third party and whoever your person is are going to end and you and your person are going to get back together. And this is exactly what goes on behind the scenes when you're manifesting a third party in a certain situation. You see, when you are behind the scenes doing your manifestation stuff, or when you are behind the scenes in your own personal life, feeling guilt or feeling hurt, shame, etc., or whatever feelings, emotions you may be feeling around losing a specific person to a third party, you don't know what that third party situation is really like. You don't know. So understand that you just have to give it time and do your due diligence, do your self-love, self-concept work, etc., that we always talk about on this channel and that other people talk about, not as much as it should, but other people do speak on it. You just have to spend the time doing that and knowing that behind the scenes, it may look like your person and the third party are extremely happy. It may look like person and the third party are going to get married or are already married. Now that you think there's no hope, you think that things are going to work out for the better, you think things are not going to work out for the better in your situation. The truth of the matter is you simply really don't know. And what's going on behind the scenes, most likely, if you think that that situation is not going to work, you have to let it unfold, which the only way it's going to unfold is it's going to take time. Meaning you have to let the universe, like I say, work its magic, do what it does. You have to let your person make mistakes. You have to let the third party make mistakes with your person. You have to let all the dirt come out, which it always usually typically does, in my opinion, from studying this stuff and working with people one-on-one. In time, all of the dirt, all of the baggage, all of the mistakes, the flaws, all of that stuff comes out in the end, which then ends up causing the relationship to end. A lot of you guys would be extremely shocked, in my opinion, to see the behind scenes work that's really going on with your specific person and whoever the third party may be. It looks like it's fine and dandy, but I'm willing to bet a lot of times, over 50% of the times, that it's not. Reason being is because most people are not conscious creators and most people have no idea about law of attraction, law of assumption, and how their thoughts and their words and their feelings are creating their reality. They have no idea what they keep creating these terrible relationships year after year. They have no idea that it's their own fault because they're not choosing to deal with themselves and they're running from themselves and they're not working on their self-concept. They keep putting blame on whoever their partners are. They're doing all of that except looking inward, realizing that it's them that's the problem, not changing the relationship. Whatever I said religiously on this channel, people change relationships to avoid changing themselves, and that's why people never grow, and that's why people never learn and attract healthy. So understand something that I always tell my clients: you will win in the end. You will win. I have no doubt. Even though you seem like this situation that you're in, you seem like, oh, it's dire, oh, I'm lonely, or oh, whatever the case may be. Oh, listen, you're going to win in the end. You might not see it right now, but as time goes on, each and every year that passes, you will get better. You will become a more conscious creator. I don't care if you're not in a third party situation. I don't care if you are in a third party situation. You will ultimately see in the end, you are going to win. As long as you continue to work on your self-concept, work on your self-love, and allow the third party situation to unfold properly by letting the universe move the chess pieces and letting it work itself out in due time behind the scenes, because this is what's always going on behind the scenes. I promise you, you'll come back to yourself and you'll come back to anybody you worked with on this stuff, and you will say, wow, I was worried for no reason. Because ultimately in the end, I ended up getting what I want or something better. I know it might be hard to understand that, but I want you guys to understand, advice sounds very different depending on the state that you're in. When a person is in a desperate state, a lot of times advice sounds crazy, sounds like they don't want to hear it, they don't want to listen for whatever the reason, they just can't process it. But once you calm down and you get in a much better mental state and you're working on your self-concept, self-love, advice, you can hear it, you understand it better. Because in the beginning of a lot of your journey, a lot of you guys, being that you were in the beginning of your third party journey or manifesting a specific person journey, a lot of you guys are only going to go to YouTubers and you're going to go to therapists and you're going to go whoever. A lot of people are going to go to those people that tell them what they want to hear, not what they need to hear. And that's because you're in a desperate state. Hearing advice with desperate ears, with victim mentality ears, it hits different once you're finally healed, whether it's 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, whatever the time frame is for you, you will understand what I'm talking about. And a lot of things 100% will make much more sense.